Well, again, how happy I am to be with you here this morning to celebrate not only Catholic Schools Week, but all of Catholic education as well. This morning when I was up in Syracuse and got in my car, I was thinking of my GPS, but I really didn't need it today because I knew where I was going and what I was coming for. But so many times, if you're going on a trip, you need to know how to get there. And if you're traveling from one city to another city, or even traveling from one place to another in a large city, we've all become dependent upon a GPS. You put in your location, and you figure out which is the best way to get there. The map might show you a few alternatives. And really, the GPS not only shows you, but it tells you how to get there. It points out the best roads to take, the shortest route, and the time in which you might expect to arrive. A GPS is very helpful when you're trying to find your way. But what does a GPS have to do with Catholic Schools Week? There are so many reasons to celebrate this week. We celebrate your outstanding academic programs, the integration of our Catholic faith and the teachings of the Church into all subject areas. We celebrate your outreach to Catholic schools and service. And we celebrate our welcoming and safe environment. And as important as the programs and environment of a Catholic school are, let's not forget that the foundation of a Catholic school is a person. Jesus Christ is the reason our Catholic schools exist. They exist to proclaim the good news that God saved his people by sending his Son so that one day we could be with him in heaven. Your Catholic school education provides you the opportunity of being a productive citizen of this world and of the world to come. Every one of you carries the spark of divine life within you. Every one of you, all of us, are called to live in such a way that one day we shall enjoy the beauty, the peace, and the joy of heaven. This may seem like a day far off for most of us, and hopefully that will be the case. However, God calls us to himself only at a time known to him. On your journey of life and faith, it's important to stay on the right path in order to arrive at your eternal destination. Many people do not know how to get to heaven. A Catholic school shows the way. Unlike traveling from one city to another city on a number of roads, there's only one way to heaven. It's having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. It's following him. He is the way to heaven. He is the GPS that takes you to your final destination. One of my favorite stories in the gospel is the calling of Matthew the apostle. You probably remember the story. He was a tax collector who took more money from people than he was supposed to do. And he kept the extra money for himself. Jesus sees Matthew collecting the taxes, and he says to him, "Follow me." And just like that, Matthew left everything and followed Jesus. Jesus didn't look at Matthew for the job that he had or what other people thought about him. Jesus looked at his heart. Jesus looks at your heart also. He looks at you with love and mercy. Sometimes you may think your shortcomings and weaknesses make you an unlikely follower of Jesus. Nonetheless, he knows your heart just as he knew Matthew's, and he wants you to follow him. It will not always be easy. Every genuine relationship calls for sacrifice and often requires that you think of others before you think of yourself. The 10 Commandments, the Beatitudes, are signposts along the way that keep you on track. It may sound a bit strange or unusual to look at education in terms of eternal life. Much of education focuses on educating productive citizens for society and future leaders. A Catholic school education does this, but it does more. It looks at life in terms of eternity, our final destiny, and forms us as followers of Christ. The next time you take a trip or plan a vacation, and you're trying to find your way in unfamiliar territory, remember the lesson from today. It's great to have a GPS. And it's great that Jesus is our GPS in eternal life. Take advantage of every opportunity to know him better, to love him more, and to serve him. This is the primary purpose of Catholic education. This is what we celebrate this week. And as we do so, we thank parents and grandparents, all of those people who make Catholic education possible here in Broome County. We thank you, too, for being with us this day, for sharing your Catholic faith with the young people God has entrusted to your care. We celebrate you as we celebrate Catholic Schools Week. God bless all of our students and all of our families as we try and make each of our families a holy family. Enjoy this special week. And hopefully, you'll pray for me, and I'll pray for you until that day when we happily meet in heaven.